Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to Community Spotlight with Keano Reeves and from the Conscious Leadership Network and my best friend and business partner, Miss Nesha Zackery.
Hello.
We're here to learn about Mr. Riggs today. So Aaron, let's start off with our first question. What do you want people to learn about you?
That within an enigmatic simplicity, a paradox is resolved. Just that I'm a real person doing real things to help benefit the world, and I'm motivated and driven. I'm a people person and technologist, working on my public speaking. I've done a couple acting gigs, done some stand-up comedy, and have a couple web-based projects and real-life projects that I love to keep moving forward every day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, tremendous. So you say that you're here to really kind of benefit the world or help the world in that way. What does that mean to you?
It's multiple layers, especially with the current situation with the economics, COVID lockdown. We hear things, environmental issues, personal issues, mental health, physical health, and just to promote that cause of brotherhood and sisterhood among the human family.
Mm-hmm.
And do some business on the side, make a little bit of money to feed myself and keep my business partners happy with their schedules and everything.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I think that that's a good mission for sure. So you were mentioning that you have just some different projects going on. What are you specifically working on right now that you would want to let us know about, let the world know about?
Well, the main thing I like to do is, partner with people on projects. Of course, I'm a co-founder with Empower the Imagination, where we work on no burnout, only flow, and manifesting ideas to market. So as we have a virtual incubator program for taking people with ideas and helping them flesh out the ideas and get that project started. Also, one of the local people I work with is a foodie in recovery. And so we're working locally to create a food business that is focused on, these people that are going through recovery for alcohol or drug addiction.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, can you expand a bit on that for us?
Okay, yeah, it's a gentleman that I've known since high school, and recently we reconnected locally here and online, and he keeps posting these pictures of amazing food. So I started following him and pestering him. I want some. When are you going to get me a meal? So finally he breaks down and says, okay, I've got this idea. I want to do this thing. He had hired me for a consult, and we're launching a website. He's developing an app, and just continue to build his business, get the food handling licensing and organize with the local kitchens so that we have a commissary kitchen, so that everything can be, food safety and legal by the business laws.
Nice.
In the food industry, yes.
Okay.
That's a difficult process to get through in California, from what I remember helping a client with it a couple of years ago.
It can be. I've helped some other people, and the application process isn't that difficult in this county. Because for him, I don't think it'll be difficult because he has that network of kitchen people and restaurateurs, restaurant owners. And here on the Central Coast, we have a beautiful culture of wineries. And so these wineries have great food and great wine. And it's just a big part of the culture here on the Central Coast. And so we're tying into his work, tying into his bosses, the owners of these restaurants, so that we can facilitate his business development and enhance the community, enhance all his other business associates. as well. Win-win-win.
Nice. Good job.
Nesha, do you have more questions that you would want to ask Erin about that? It's kind of jumping to the question that you were going to ask later, actually.
No, I was just curious to hear more about the food truck idea. I know there are a couple of people that I've worked with, like over in California, who have gone from like being on set to like doing catering on like movie sets or whatever, and being in that whole thing, and then trying to move into different phases of the industry. And it's been interesting to watch, depending on like where you are and who you are and who you know. That depends on how your journey goes from start to finish. Not to say that it doesn't, work out in the end. It's just like the length of the journey differs depending on where you are on the chain.
Oh, absolutely. I've always found that your network and the people you align with can sometimes just smash down barriers
Exactly.
that would otherwise be a little bit tricky to get through, especially in our local community. It's kind of a tight-knit Central Coast. Everyone thinks, oh, Erin, you're from California, Los Angeles, San Francisco. No, we're about halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles, and it's kind of a agricultural
yeah, and that's a different landscape
area.
There.
Yes.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay. Well, that kind of wraps into the other question of, I guess, really what you're working on and why should people care? But these are working with individuals, working in the community and such. But I guess more from you, why should people care about these projects that you're working on?
Well, I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I mean, if it resonates or harmonizes with them, they should care. If they're interested in taking their ideas and turning them into a real life business, manifesting to market from an idea, then, if I can help them, maybe they might want to care what I'm doing. If they want to help, the rehab people, they might care. I'm also going to be cutting my hair for Locks of Love, benefiting on a fundraiser. They might care to help. They might care because they have needs and maybe they want some funds raised. The main goal is to help the individual, to help the neighborhood, the family, to help the community at large, to help the larger nation and states, and hopefully the world, the environment, and just little steps, planting a seed, if you will, watering a tree. These are rudimentary, basic things that we do, as well as considering the higher level of my dreams. I would love to be working for myself rather than working for an employer at minimum wage. I would love to be the owner of my destiny rather than under the thumb of a corporation. It also has to do with my personal belief of the age of Aquarius, as far as rather than being a top down from the previous age, more of a grassroots, where the bottom up, where the people at the lowest level are contributing and owning, rather than always that top down structure.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nesha, let's go on to your questions, I think, or on to the journey question.
Yeah, so with all that you've discussed, you've talked about imagination technology and food trucks and, all of this. So how did you get to where you are now?
Living each day. You can see I have one of my certificates up there. I don't know if you can see it, but that was when I was still in high school. That is a certificate for completing a project with people's self-help housing. So I was still in high school and built a house with my family.
Nice.
And been through many different trades and industries as an employee, as a manager. I've taken many online studies. I'm a lifetime student, and that lifetime student has gotten me to where I am. Ever since I was a child, I've been interested in understanding the world around me. So I've studied, got my high school diploma, went to community college, studied art, got some of my basic English, and really enjoy people. So studied a bit of psychology, studied a bit of psychology relating to marketing, relating to mental health. Um, been experienced as a manager in business, been experienced as a child when I was 13, starting my own landscape business, starting my own handyman service, starting my own vending machine business. And I just love that process of, I have an idea, let's make it real. I want to do something, let's make it happen. How are we going to do this? We have to figure it out. Let's study, let's learn about this, let's immerse ourselves into a project and learn what we need to know at each step, and just continual progression.
Okay. So in going through all of that, why did you land on imagination technology?
Oh, this is the greatest story. So I was just hanging out online and following some posts, and my friend Jeremy Lastman, had some posts, and I said, hey, let's talk about your comic book, or let's talk about ideas. And, we said, oh, this would be fun. Let's do something fun, transparent. So basically all our conversations that led up to it were recorded. And then we launched the website, we developed the product and the offer, and helped a couple people realize their dreams, if you will, to take their ideas to market, and to do it in a way where there's no burnout, but only flow. Maintaining that flow state, that meditative state, or that relaxed state, that natural state that everyone wants to learn about. The athletes get into flow state.
Right.
And so it really developed around just a personal connection, a personal conversation, an idea that we decided to manifest to market, and then sharing that process of how we manifested our idea so that other people could see how we did it and learn their way and progress their way from their ideas to manifestation.
Nice. Okay, so I have a question for you, because a lot of people may not even understand this. What exactly is imagination technology? Like in the simplest term.
In the simplest term, as it relates to my perspective, it is the science of consciousness.
Which means?
The science of consciousness. It's a deep dive into understanding thought process, to understanding mind, to understanding the power of imagination, how our imagination can create and does create everything, whether our imagination takes us into the depths and we allow that negative self-reinforcement, or NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to influence our conscious mind, or whether we can take charge of that programming and realize our self-talk, our self-thoughts influences our reality, and become more of a, let's think positive, let's think growth, let's think these things through the scientific process of understanding how thoughts become real.
Love it. So last question from me. With all the noise that's out there in the world now, why do you want your voice to be out there, and how are you going to make yourself stand out?
I just love the sound of my own voice. I'm going to be honest.
Honesty is the best policy.
I find also that I have a certain wit and sense of humor, a comedic flair. So even in the most serious situations of business, I can break through to that child mind, that laughter mind, and break through into the emotionals of a human mind, the human system, the human machine, because these emotions, they create, neurochemicals, dopamine, things like this. And if you're aware of that and can direct that, then you can live a more peaceful and happy life, whether in business or in relationships, all this stuff.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll be listening to see what you have to say. Pallas?
So, Erin, I know one of the big things that's on your plate right now that we've been talking about for the last few weeks is locks of love, and wanting to really make a big event out of this. And this has been obviously a long time coming to get to that point. Can you expand more on the importance of this project for you? And this, it's not a project, I don't know if that's the right word, but
it's a promotion.
Okay.
And it's multiple layers. There was I didn't really think, oh, I'm going to grow locks of love and donate it. I just decided I'm going to cut my hair before I'm 50. I've got to experience complete baldness, so I'm going to do the whole shaved completely. I'm going to go to my barber and have him do a straight razor cut.
Oh my gosh.
Because I've never experienced that. I wanted that. And just through that, it's coming up here. This August is my birthday. So I figured, hey, why let this go to waste? Why let it be swept off on the floor? There's people that suffer from cancer that have had chemotherapy that have lost their hair. Their children, it's a lot of them. And it's just an emotional state to feel out of place and bald when you're used to having hair. So that's a great thing. And it ties into me personally because I have lost a son to cancer, to childhood cancer.
Right.
So it touches my soul at the deepest level to provide a little bit of comfort for these children that have, gone through chemotherapy and lost their hair to just, okay, I got a nice pretty wig that I can feel pretty and beautiful today. And just boost that morality, because I believe that internal thought, that internal fountain of life, when it's positive, people have a greater chance of healing. I know that Pallas is really into the healing side of these other non-traditional, non-Western modalities. And, I've been raised in a holistic home. I was taught from a young age of healing modalities. And I truly believe with imagination technology, it ties into the psyche, to the mental health, and to allowing that abundance to flow, allowing the chakras to be open, or however you want to define it. When you come from a place of happiness and joy and love, it's really difficult to stop anything that you put in your mind.
Yeah.
Gosh, Nesha, and with that project, I wonder if we could help promote that with the Wonder Project. I mean, there's so much importance behind that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Let me know when it is and we'll get something going.
Yeah, can you tell?
It is going on all the time. It is going on all the time. It's a nonstop promotion. Now, part of it is my luxurious beard. You can see it's been growing. It's a little bit trimmed from last time. And part of it also might be feeding my own ego as a Leo. I carry a certain stage presence. I have a bigger than life personality. And so I've been doing these little fire shows, right? Where I actually will light myself on fire. Oh, I do stunts. Don't worry. I've been in Hollywood. I do understand safety coordination. I was a regional director of safety and training for a national telecommunications firm.
Disclaimer: don't try this at home.
Yes, please do not try this at home. I have a couple videos out. I'm charging $1 to see the rest of them. I have one promo video that's public. The rest of them are going to be completely behind a paywall or a donation wall or a contribution wall, because I know some people don't really have the dollar to buy the series. So a little bit of help, sharing the promo, liking, comments, interacting. It boosts the social media presence. And so, yeah, if you don't have the dollar and don't want to see the haircut or the bald Erin, because these are all going to be secret. I'm not going to be doing lives after I cut my hair. I'm not going to be doing any guest spots on the podcast. So you really do have to pay the dollar to help my cause, or as much as you'd like, to see the beard lit up several times. I have a couple different fancy tricks, and to see the hair, if you want to see the haircut, or to see the bald head. All these things, you got to see it. It's so special. It's never going to happen again. And it's going to be completely exclusive to those that contribute to this cause of creating a better world Even if you just plant a tree, like I don't got no money, I don't have any friends, fine, go plant a tree, send me a picture. You can access the series that I'm developing, burning my beard, cutting my hair, helping the people that, you know, the locks of
I
love
love
will
it.
not. Hopefully we raise enough funds. I have a couple schools that I'm very interested in helping. And then the homeless community, I've with the comedy thing, I did Laugh at My Calibration, Peanut Comedy Slam Jam, and this was an outreach to where we would raise funds, put together food, and bring it out on Skid Row in Los Angeles and feed the homeless. Associated with My Friend's House, LA, which is a great little boutique and a food thing. I think they got in a wreck on one of their vans. So if we can really get this promotion going, I'd love to be able to help them get a new van so they could go down to Skid Row and keep feeding the people. It's such a such a dramatic thing to me because I see these people that have fallen through the cracks of society and they're left on the streets and there's not much opportunity, you know. How do you find a place to lay your head and take a shower to even get a job to start bringing your life up? And it's such a rat race down in the city. It's so important to me to get these messages out that I'm going to burn my face. Well, just the little tips of my hair. And I'm going to cut my hair and I'm going to go bald to save, even if just one person smiles one time, it's worth it to me.
I love it. Absolutely love that. That's awesome. All right. So I think that covers like the whole campus.
Yeah, I think
so it's fun
too.
time now. Do we have any time left for the show or just?
Yep, there's about 3 minutes left. What you got?
Oh, I just wanted to plug, promotion of Empower the Imagination. That's kind of what I'm doing there in the CLN and doing off the CLN outer network and larger internet at large, because it's just fun for me to work with people to watch their ideas get clarified and fleshed out and become a real thing. And so we have the downloadable portion, which is an evergreen. You can just download it. But I also work with people directly, for a fair charge to really we do so many layers. It goes beyond just I'm helping you start a business. It really, touches the heart, brings some joy and laughter and get things done. A little synergy, a little inspiration, motivation, and dedication. Inspiration gets the project started, motivation keeps it going, but dedication sees it through. So I'm dedicated to the people I work with, whether they pay me or not. A lot of times they don't have the money. So I'm like, hey, I'm in, let me get a little percentage of your project and I will contribute to your project. We'll call it a stakeholder contributor relationship. I will contribute, but I own a little bit of stake in the company, kind of like, stockholder options for a big corporation. So you don't really need money to work with me, but you need a good idea. You need to be inspired, motivated, and dedicated to see your idea through to the marketplace.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So you are on the CLN. Can you tell us again where to find you on the CLN and outside of?
Empower the Imagination. Empower the Imagination. EMPOWERTHEIMAGIN. I got dyslexia. Empower the Imagination. All you got to do is empower the imagination anywhere, Facebook, online, CLN, and I'll be somewhere. And if I see you comment, I see you post, I see you like, I'll touch base. You can always send me a message or send a message to Empower the Imagination. We're here for you to manifest your ideas to market in a way that there's no burnout, only flow.
Very nice.
Yep.
All right. So after we hop off here, then you can drop those links or however you want to do it, your ats, in the comments on Facebook, on the CLN Facebook page, and then everybody can go there. We'll get them over to the YouTube channel as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Erin. It's been awesome learning about you and these other things that you're working on and getting into Erin's brain a little bit here. And yeah, people, Erin's awesome. You guys should reach out. He's got so much amazingness to offer. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. We're going to wrap it up for today. And we will catch our audience with our next community spotlight in a few weeks. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.